Hi guys, welcome to Bible storytelling. How are you guys? I hope you are well and I hope you're keeping safe wherever you are. So guys, I don't want to waste too much of your time. Let's get into the Word of God. Hi guys, welcome back guys. If you're new here, my name is Irene and welcome to Healthier in Christ. And guys, currently I'm doing Bible storytelling and I'm talking about the book of Daniel. So last week I spoke about Daniel 2, but I did not finish it because my camera turned off. So guys, I'm just gonna quickly finish Daniel 2 and then I'm gonna do a little bit of evaluation or a little bit of discussion, okay? So let's get started. So verse 2, actually I had stopped where Daniel finished telling King Nebuchadnezzar the dream and the interpretation of it. And then the Bible says that King Nebuchadnezzar fell face down and paid respect to Daniel as the greatest prophet of the Most High God. And he also commanded that Daniel should be given gifts and fragrance in honor of his God. And this is what King Nebuchadnezzar also said to Daniel, right? I'm going to read this. He said, "Most certainly, your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings and a revealer of mystery, since you have been able to reveal this mystery." Okay. So on top of the gifts, King Nebuchadnezzar also promoted Daniel and made him the ruler of the entire province of Babylon and the chief governor of all the wise men of Babylon, okay? And then Daniel asked King Nebuchadnezzar if he could offer that position of being the ruler of the entire province of Babylon to his friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. What a friend, right? He did not forget his friend, guys, when he was promoted, okay? Anyway, and that is actually the end of Daniel 2. So guys, like I said, guys, I just want to discuss on what has happened so far in Daniel 2. So, in Daniel 2, we see King Nebuchadnezzar having a dream, right? And he called all his spiritual advisors, which were the sorcerers, the astrologers, the magicians, the enchanters, to interpret it for him. But at the same time, we see King Nebuchadnezzar making a unique request, which he has never done before, that these people should tell him the dream that he had and then interpret it for him. Okay. And they complained to him and say, "King Nebuchadnezzar, what you're asking is unusual, okay? No king or leader has ever asked such thing, and we cannot do it, okay? Only the gods can do it, okay?" And at that time, this is when Daniel was able to tell King Nebuchadnezzar the dream and interpret it for him, which is something that King Nebuchadnezzar's spiritual men could not do. This shows, or this reveals to King Nebuchadnezzar that, hold on a minute, there is another God higher than my gods. So guys, when you actually look at it, right, clearly with binoculars, you can actually see that God gave King Nebuchadnezzar the dream. God made King Nebuchadnezzar ask such a unique request because God knew that these spiritualists, these wise men of Babylon, they were fake. They were not that powerful, because interpreting a dream is actually not hard. You don't need to be a spiritualist to interpret a dream. You just need to know certain symbols, what they mean, and you can actually do it. So here in verse 2, guys, we also see God, the Most High God, introducing himself or making himself known to King Nebuchadnezzar for the first time. Because guys, you have to realize that King Nebuchadnezzar was a Gentile, okay? He was not a believer. So he did not know anything about God of heaven, okay? But God had chosen King Nebuchadnezzar, okay? He said it to the prophet Jeremiah that Nebuchadnezzar, he's my servant and my instrument to carry out my plan. At first, when I read this, I actually thought that God's plan was to only discipline the children of Israel. But after I finished reading Daniel 2, I'm actually realizing that, hold on a minute, there is so much more to God's plan. There is so much more things that God is using Nebuchadnezzar to do. One was to discipline the children of Israel, because he was really disciplining them. And two, I feel like God was using King Nebuchadnezzar to introduce himself to the Gentiles. So at the time, God was the God of Israel only. He had chosen the Israelites via their forefathers, Abraham. Okay, I don't know if you know the story, guys, but I'm just going to quickly talk about it, right? God made a promise to Abraham. He said, Abraham, I'm gonna make you the father of a nation. Okay, and at the time Abraham was so old and Sarah had hit menopause, so there was no way that was gonna happen. But God being God, Abraham had a son, Isaac. Isaac then had Jacob, who was named Israel, and then Jacob had 4 sons who then married and multiplied and multiplied and multiplied, and they became a nation. So these were God's people. God loved them, God protected them, and God gave them commandments, the 10 commandments, and say, follow these commandments. But they never did. Okay, they started to disobey God. They started building their own gods. They started worshiping pagan God. Okay, so anyway, that is that, guys. So let's move on to Daniel 3. So here in Daniel 3, guys, I'm actually surprised by King Nebuchadnezzar, because I'm hoping that at this time King Nebuchadnezzar should really start worshiping the God of heaven, or really showing some interest, wanting to know more about the God of heaven, because his eyes are now open. Okay, he now knows the truth that there is another God. But that's not what's happening here in verse 3. Here we see King Nebuchadnezzar building a statue of gold. Okay, and he called all the people in power, the governors, the judges, to dedicate this statue to his gods. Okay, and he gave a command that everybody in Babylon should worship this statue. Anytime they hear sound of music, they should bow down and worship the statue. Okay, so this became a law in Babylon. Okay, so it happens that one day certain Chaldeans or Babylonians went to King Nebuchadnezzar and said to King Nebuchadnezzar, King Nebuchadnezzar, listen, you gave us a rule that we should worship this image. However, there are some Jews that you have put in power that are not worshiping the statue. King Nebuchadnezzar, these people are disobeying you, and that's not right. Okay, and this was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Hold on a minute. I just want to talk about the way these people went to King Nebuchadnezzar and reported to King Nebuchadnezzar the people that he have put in power. Like, you can actually see the bitterness in these Babylonians. And I don't really blame them, because these were foreigners. These people were supposed to be slaves. But here they are, being in power. But again, these were the children of God, okay? Even though God was disciplining them, was punishing them, even though they were in captivity, God had told them that don't fight King Nebuchadnezzar, but multiply, settle down, marry, have more children, pray for prosperity. And that speaks a lot, guys. That really speaks a lot. Like, in that time that you're supposed to be suffering, you can actually make a decision either to go through that period suffering, or going through that period prospering. Because God was not giving them freedom, no, because he had said to them, you're gonna be in exile for 70 years. That's how long these children stayed in Babylon under King Nebuchadnezzar. 70 years. So it was actually up to them to spend that 70 years suffering, like they did back in, in the desert. They could do that, or they could actually spend those 70 years happy, prospering, multiplying, and when the time comes for deliverance, they'll be like, oh, hold on a minute. Are we going to Jerusalem? I don't want to go to Jerusalem. I want to stay here because I have built riches in Babylon. Anyway, guys, so let's go back. So anyway, so this man told King Nebuchadnezzar, and then King Nebuchadnezzar was very, very angry. He was very, very fierce. Like, how dare you don't respect me? So he called or summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And when they came, King Nebuchadnezzar asked them, I said, listen, so you're not worshiping my God? Like, you don't want to worship my God? What did I say? Did I not say to you, if you hear a sound of music, you must bow down and worship? Okay, so now I'm telling you that if you hear a sound of music, you must worship. Okay, because if you don't, I'm going to kill you and no one is going to save you. Your God is not going to save you. Okay, and these three boys, I think they're actually men now. So let's say these three men, they told King Nebuchadnezzar and said, King Nebuchadnezzar, if our God is the real God, is the Almighty God, He will rescue us from the fire and from yourself, King Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, but even if He doesn't, King Nebuchadnezzar, we are not going to worship your God. Okay, and King Nebuchadnezzar became very, very angry, and he told his officers that they should make the fire 7 times hot. Okay, because it was the commandment that whoever does not worship the statue will be thrown into the fire. Okay. So when the fire was ready, the Bible said that King Nebuchadnezzar selected the strongest men to tie these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, okay, to tie them in chain and then throw them into the fire. Okay. And the Bible said that the fire was very, very hot, that even the men who carried Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego up to the fire, they were actually burned from the heat. Okay. And when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were in the fire, King Nebuchadnezzar opened the door to have a look, and he saw 4 men that were walking unchained. Okay, and the 4th man looked like son of God. So he asked his officers and said, hold on a minute, did we not throw 3 men in the fire? So how come there are 4 and the 4th one looks like the son of God? So King Nebuchadnezzar actually called out to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and he said, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out. And this is what he said. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out. So they came out, and King Nebuchadnezzar actually assessed this man, and nothing was burnt, not even their clothes, and they were not even smelling of smoke. So King Nebuchadnezzar then, again, said this, right? It says, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angels and rescued his servants who believed in, trusted in, and relied on him. They violated the king's command and surrendered their bodies rather than save or worship any god except their own God. Therefore, I make a decree that any people, nation, or language that speaks anything offensive against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut into pieces, and their houses be made a heap of rubbish, for there is no other God who is able to save in this way. So again, we see God revealing himself to King Nebuchadnezzar, letting King Nebuchadnezzar know that, you know what, there is a God in heaven who is more powerful than your God, who does supernatural things. So guys, this is the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much. See you again next week, guys, where we're going to talk about Daniel 4. I hope you have a blessed week. Thank you, thank you, thank you.